Well, hello there, fellow geeks and geekettes, and welcome to the news with Psycho Seb. Well, not really news, again, and once more, I'm kinda late. I'm usually late with these things, but hey, whatever. Now, this news is concerned with DC Comics cutting its ties, or breaking up with Diamond distributors. Now, I'm sure that all the comic fans and geeks and nerds all over the world already know this, and especially because so many videos have already been done and uploaded on YouTube. But I thought I could provide my own opinion and my own take on the matter. Now, of course, there are many articles, many news sites that you can check out, but I tend to look at Bounding into Comics because it tends to provide quite realistic news, truthful news, and the way the articles are written are very close to my own ways of thinking. Now, I will just go through the article very quickly and then provide you with a very brief opinion of mine. Now, the article says DC Comics admits comics have sustained stagnant growth in decision to cut ties with Diamond Comics distributors. AT&T-owned DC Comics admitted in an email sent to retailers that comics have sustained stagnant market growth while announcing they will no longer be working with Diamond Comics distributors. The email details that DC Comics' business relationship with Diamond Comics distributors ends effective following Diamond's distribution of product offered on DC's FOC list of June the 1st. The email goes on to state, in the near term, Diamond will only be fulfilling orders placed through June the 1st final order cut off and will not solicit the sale of new DC titles further. It adds, to ensure a smooth transition for retailers, DC will suspend final order cutoff for June the 8th, making those books available to order on final order cutoff on June the 15th. Now, previous world reports the June the 1st final order cutoff books available to order from Diamond Comics distributors include, and then they provide a list of comic books that will be available as the last ones through Diamond Comics. I'm not going to read the list aloud. I'm going to provide the link to the article down in the description down below so you can read it for yourself. But just looking at it, I don't really see anything that I would definitely know new comics. I might check out Batman as usual, because I always need to read new Batman stories, even if they are shit. Absolute Transmetropolitan, well, this will not really touch my heart. They also announced they are committed to having new DC Comics go on sale on Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays. So for DC Comics, Wednesday will no longer be the new comic book day, as it has been like since forever. Interesting. They stated DC is committed to Tuesday on sale dates so that all our product is offered on the same day in all retail channels. This announcement comes after DC Comics detailed they were exploring a multi-distributor model back in March. As to why they decided to cut ties with Diamond Comics distributors, they pointed to sustained stagnant market growth. They explained, DC has been analyzing its direct market distribution for some time, long before COVID, specifically in light of sustained stagnant market growth. Now, I have spelled the COVID on purpose because of the Google and YouTube algorithms. They added, the timing of the decision to move on from Diamond was ultimately dictated by the fact that DC's contract with Diamond has expired. But incidentally, the disruption by COVID to the market has required DC to forge ahead with its larger growth strategies that will benefit both the direct market and DC. In the email, DC Comics details that they will be replacing Diamond with Lunar Distribution and UCS Comic distributors, as well as Penguin Random House. Now, Lunar Distribution and USC Comics distributors will distribute periodicals and graphic novels, while Penguin Random House will distribute graphic novels. In order to receive books with a final order cut off on June 15th or later, retailers have to contact Lunar Distribution, USC, or UCS Comic Distributors, or Penguin Random House. Now the article goes on and goes on, and then I especially like the ending of the article when Bounding into Comics, I believe, interviewed Mr. Mark Gallo, the owner of Past, Present, Future Comics in West Palm Beach, reacted to the news telling Bounding into Comics. It's terrible timing, he says. When stores are suffering most, we don't need added costs and loss of terms. We can't seem to catch a break. We can overcome so much, but this is insult to injury. He continued, this new entity won't have any incentive to provide terms, in my opinion. I personally have 28 days terms with Diamond, and I am assuming I'll be cash on delivery with this new distributor. This looks really bleak. Now, what he says next is, I think, the most important thing of all the article. Blaming a distributor instead of their unsellable woke trash product. Total deflection. Comics fans want good stories and art, and not a laundry or list of woke writers interjecting their politics into character development and storylines, Gallo concluded. This sums up the entire thing, right? The fact that DC Comics broke off their ties with Diamond, well, I said that things would change. I still can't change, I can't change it, yeah? I still can't say whether the things will change for better or worse. I am no expert in numbers and distribution. I'm no businessman, but I have known, as many people, for some time that things will change drastically, and not just because of COVID and the pandemic situation in the world, but precisely because of that reason that the man Gallo said in the end of the article. The comic book production has been declining for years now because of that reason, because of what he said, right? Comics fans want good stories and art, I'm quoting him once again, and not a laundry list of woke writers interjecting their politics into characters' development and storylines. So once again, I'm saying you need to get writers and artists that are good and talented and prolific. So you have to hire people on merit, and then you will make money, right? Now, I do not think that the breaking up of DC and Diamond Comics distributors will have any brutal effect on ourselves, on us, the readers, in the near future, or the nearest future. Definitely not on myself, especially since I mostly enjoy older comic books. I don't really read much new comics, because there are not many new comics that would be good. Here and there are some. But, I think that they will be published and distributed anyway, in this way or another, especially the DC Black Label line. I think that DC Comics will find ways to distribute their comic books to people, or one way or another. Of course, I think that if something or somebody will be affected by this, it will be the comic book stores, and many people think that. But then again, I'm not an expert on the matter, so the only thing I can say is that the time will tell, right? I do not want to be overly negative, nor do I want to be overly positive. I just want to be realistic. And being realistic in this situation means saying that things will change further and more. That's the fact. That's the simple fact of that. As I said, it's Ragnarök for comic books and for the comic book industry. Ragnarök, as described in Norse myths, is not like many people think wrongly, the end of the world, like the Judeo-Christian apocalypse, but it is more of an end of one era and the beginning of another era. It's the end of one world, but from the ashes of the world that has died, a new, brand new world will be born. Now, whether this new world of comic books will be better or worse, I don't know. Honestly, I don't I think that the golden age of comic books, and I'm not referring to the golden age in the half of the 20th century, I mean comic books in general, is past, is behind us. I don't think that there will be another era in the near future of, say, the comic book 70s, 80s, and 90s, when the best comic books were produced, written, and drawn. Now, this is my take on things. Breaking up DC and Diamond Comics distributors, big changes are coming. Many people have predicted them. Well, I have as well. Whether the changes will be good or bad, I don't know. We shall see. I think they won't be that awesome. Yeah, but then again, people who do not enjoy the new comics, and there are a lot of them, will just simply have to take what they can, buy what they can, receive what they can receive, and then rely on the good old stuff. The good old comics and books and manga that have been written, thankfully, and hopefully will stay in print. Like, the worst thing that could happen is if the good old comics would stop being reprinted. Well, that would be a disaster, truly. So, in the worst case scenario, that might happen. So in that case, I do suggest you stock up on the good old comics that you like, be it in single issues, or trade paperbacks, or hardcovers, omnibuses, or omnibuy collected editions that might be cheaper than getting the back issues in floppies. So yeah, that's the thing. That's my take on the entire matter. And what is your opinion, my friends? Do you agree with me? Are you a negative person or a positive person as far as this thing goes? What do you think? Tell me in the comment section down below. And of course, do not forget to dislike this video if you don't like it, or like this video if you like it, and subscribe to this unimportant channel, or an unimportant geek talking about unimportant things. And that would be really all from me, my friends. See you soon, and bye.